On day one, I will terminate Crooked Joe's ridiculous electric vehicle mandate.
Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, could Tesla's profit drop by half or more? Let's investigate. Let's see what's being said. You can see this headline here. Over 40% of Tesla's profit comes from selling regulatory credits right now. If a new administration delivers more lax environmental rules for automakers, one of Tesla's key profit drivers could go away. And this article, this headline here, not trivial. EV sales could drop nearly 30% if Trump repeals tax credit. Let's dive deeper. Tesla has made $2.1 billion this year from selling regulatory credits to automakers that haven't hit emissions targets. Credit sales account for 43% of the automaker's profit, and if environmental standards get rolled back, the money may dry up. And this down here I've pulled from Tesla's last quarter filing. It says, we delivered strong results in Q3 with growth in vehicle deliveries, both sequential and year on year, resulting in record third quarter volume. We also recognized our second highest quarter of regulatory credit revenue, as other OEMs are still behind on meeting emissions requirements. So it's true, they do make quite a lot of money from regulatory credits. They have for a long time. Could this go away? Could this hurt their profit? They're certainly making a lot of revenue and profit from these regulatory credits. Could this change and damage the company's profits? Now, as you might know, Elon Musk spent around $200 million to help elect President Donald Trump. I'm not sure if it was $200 million, but definitely well over $100 million. It was a surprising pairing, as Trump has long criticized electric vehicles. And that's true. There's plenty of video of him out there criticizing electric vehicles.
They don't work in the cold and they don't go far. Other than that, I think they're wonderful. If you want to drive down to the store to buy clothing, or if you want to do something locally, it's fine. But these cars don't go very far. But they want everybody to have an electric car. We don't have enough electricity. We couldn't make enough electricity for that. And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, because Elon endorsed me very strongly, Elon. So I have no choice.
This is the primary thing Musk's biggest company makes. Trump has promised to get rid of the federal clean vehicle incentives for consumers, which Musk says will ultimately help Tesla.
On day one, I will terminate Crooked Joe's ridiculous electric vehicle mandate.
But if Trump delivers on another promise, rolling back emission standards for other automakers, it may hurt another key Tesla revenue stream. Now, about Trump's campaign promise to get rid of these federal clean vehicle incentives for consumers, there is the tax credit that he's saying might go away. And Elon said that will be good for Tesla, not in the short term, but over the long run, because the other vehicle makers are struggling to make a profit. Tesla makes 100% EVs, and the other automakers, most of them, still make combustion engine cars, hybrids, and some EVs, and they're struggling with their EVs. So Elon thinks that Tesla will come out on top by taking this credit away, even though it might be short-term pain, long-term Tesla's gain. I'm not sure how this fits into Tesla's long-term mission of accelerating electric vehicles, to accelerate a sustainable transport. So is this the case only if it's for Tesla? Now, Tesla earned $2.1 billion by selling regulatory credits to other automakers in the first 3 quarters of 2024, according to reporting from the New York Times, based on the company's regulatory filings, which we just saw a little bit of that. That accounts for 43% of the automakers, the AI company's profit. They say that because Elon Musk talks more about the robots and AI than he does about the cars at this point. And maybe that's a good thing, because the auto industry has traditionally had intense competition. Tesla's trying to diversify, and the stock price has definitely gone up based on what's going to happen in the future. FSD for cars, which is AI and cameras together. Will that work? We'll have to see if that's the case. But that's what he's been talking about for a long time, showcasing in the We Robot event, which I made a video about. So it's all about AI, all about the future of robots, but they still have most of their revenue coming from cars at this point, the vast majority. Now, again, I've pulled this out of the financial filings here. We can see the statement of operations, automotive regulatory credits in the revenues there, which is the second line. And we can see here for the past 4 quarters just how much that revenue is. And if you join the last 4 quarters together, it's over $2.5 billion in revenues that Tesla has made from these credits. So if that goes away, that'll definitely harm the company's finances. Now, my viewers can get a substantial discount for a FinChat subscription. I'll put a link in the description, a referral link coming up Black Friday sale from the 27th to the 2nd of December. You'll see it's 25% off, which is a really good discount. Go and check it out. Now, as the article says, these credits have long been a big part of Tesla's business. US and other government standards require automakers to hit fleet-wide emissions targets. Companies that are above those targets must buy credits to bring down their average. They buy credits from companies like Tesla, which only make zero-emission vehicles, and other brands that are more efficient than required by law. That's how Tesla's getting these credits. This incentivizes companies to beat their targets as it opens up a valuable revenue stream while still providing leeway for those that can't or don't want to sell more efficient vehicles. So Tesla's been making a lot of money off this scheme that's been going for quite a long time now. Now we can see here an example of another company. This is a Ford Ranger combustion engine, and below that is their electric truck as well. So they do make electric trucks, but as I said, they've been struggling to make a profit as well as other companies. Ford and Tesla are the only 2 US companies who haven't been bankrupt before. That's still the case, and Elon Musk has pointed that out, although Tesla hasn't been going nearly as long as Ford. It's an old company, of course, with Henry Ford going way back. So the credit selling business was even more crucial to Tesla early on, back when other automakers were struggling to get their EV programs off the ground, and Tesla was losing money on most cars it made. Profit from regulatory credits was a lifeline. Many have argued it would have never survived without them. And this picture here is of the first car that Tesla made, the Roadster, if you remember that. So this is back when Tesla was struggling. The first car, it was a high-end car. That was the strategy they did. They put this Roadster out. It was a lot of money. And then they've been progressively making less expensive cars for the mass market. There has been criticism that they didn't bring out a cheaper car. Elon wanted to do the Cybertruck first, which ended up being over $100,000. They didn't bring out that cheaper version. They got the Cybercab, which Elon says is going to be around $30,000. That remains to be seen. We'll have to see what happens when and if it comes out with no pedals and no steering wheel. It could be some time, and FSD has been having its problems. But in hitching his wagon to Trump's, Musk has gambled that Tesla no longer needs government incentives for consumer purchases or for its EV and battery factories or to drive its regulatory credit business. Musk has long said that Tesla is not a car company and that its future ambitions lie in autonomy and AI. For those who like Tesla for the cars, however, the CEO's increasing focus on AI and politics is disconcerting, and that is true. My last video was about anti-Elon bumper stickers that previous Tesla owners have been sticking on there, saying that we bought this car before Elon went crazy and so forth. I'll put a link to that video in the description if you haven't seen that. After all, Tesla is a company that primarily builds cars, and one that would not exist today without a series of manufacturing incentives, consumer incentives, and regulatory schemes that all helped it to cross the valley of death that dooms many startups. Here we see an image of the Cybertruck in the background and robots, the Optimus robots that he's been talking so much about and demonstrating in the We Robot event, talking about the future of AI and robots and the Cybertruck. bringing that out instead of that cheaper vehicle. So going in a direction that is pretty different to cars, even though they do sell a lot of cars, and they still will have to sell a lot of cars in the future before they transition. If they are indeed going to transition, Elon said that robots could be bigger than cars, bigger than the energy, which in turn he said energy would be bigger than the cars. So getting bigger and bigger and going out into different directions, just starting with EVs. That is the future vision he's got. Will it happen like that? Now, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. Thanks. And if you're new here, do subscribe to get more of this kind of content in the future. Now, despite supposedly being in it for the altruistic purpose of transitioning the whole world to sustainable energy, it sure looks like Musk is trying to pull up the ladder behind him. That's not a great look. But when you haven't stepped off the ladder yourself, it could be quite dangerous too. So saying here that they've already got a lot of credits, regulatory credits, tax credits, and they're doing okay. So they'll pull up the ladder behind them and the other companies won't be able to benefit. That's the implication here. Instead of transitioning, helping accelerate all EVs, really it's more about competition and Tesla winning in the long run. Now, this other article here, not trivial, EV sales could drop nearly 30% if Trump repeals the tax credit. Auto industry execs, fasten your seatbelts, it says. If President-elect Donald Trump and his team repeal the $7,500 federal tax credit for EVs as reported, the fallout will be massive. Now, the Biden administration's signature climate law, the Inflation Reduction Act, introduced the $7,500 EV tax credit for consumer vehicles and numerous others for commercial EVs and battery production, among other things. Since the law's inception in 2022, EV sales have taken off. In 2023, the first full year of the credit, EV sales jumped 46% year on year to 1.19 million. So other companies have benefited from this, of course, but Tesla has benefited a lot considering that they make 100% EVs. They sold a lot of EVs with this tax credit. After constructing a model and running a simulation, the report found that EV sales in the US would drop 27% if the federal EV tax credit were removed. This would hurt Tesla, you would think, as well as the other companies. But Elon is saying that it would hurt the other companies more. So that's what's behind him really supporting it or being okay with it. Are Tesla investors okay with this, though? The financials are going to suffer in the short term. Unknown how long that would be. It's a rapidly growing market and relatively new technology, but the loss of the EV tax credit is not trivial. If you look at the prices of combustion engine cars and EVs, it does help people to want EVs because there is a price difference there still. While a 27% decrease is substantial relative to what sales would be otherwise, it may not be that big of a deal. EV sales increased over 40% year on year in 2023, meaning sales could be at a flat line if the tax credit were repealed, meaning that the growth in EVs is so good that it would kind of even out, smooth out the line so much. Yes, there wouldn't be such a big growth in sales, but it wouldn't be too bad considering that it is a growth market. Now, this image we can see here is the Hyundai Ioniq 9, which is a new version, and they are going to be making these in the US. Saw a video just the other day of the factory. They are popular in other countries. I see them around in the country where I am in New Zealand. We already have the Hyundai cars here. Now, that being said, sales for this year are only trending up 10% year over year in Q3, according to Kelley Blue Book, indicating a significant impact, assuming sales trend at the same level in Q4. Now, here's an interesting related graph. Tesla's share of total EV sales remain below 50%. This is in the US. You see it's been trending down. Tesla had a big share of the market. Although everybody's selling more vehicles, the share that Tesla has been going down, dropping below 50% and remaining there. So they used to have a massive market share up to 80%, and that's fallen down to below 50 as competition has come in different places. Trump has these tariffs to stop Chinese cars coming in, but there are plenty of other EVs as well, and there's more competition for Tesla. This is just in the US. In China, it's way more intense with companies such as BYD. If BYD was able to sell in the US without tariffs, definitely be a big fight. Now, I'd love to know what you think of this. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Tesla's profit because of this could drop 50% or more because of these two things, with Trump coming in and changing things, even though Elon is supporting Trump and helped him get elected? Could this hurt Tesla in the short term or long term? Will it be good for Tesla in the long term? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Now, if you're interested in other companies apart from Tesla, other stocks, you'll be interested in my other channel, Stock Chat Show, which covers investors and stocks apart from Tesla. I'll put a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a link to a related episode on screen, and also a subscribe link. If you're new here, do subscribe to get more of this kind of content in the future. And thanks to everybody for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.